It was a scene stunning the nation. Two seemingly invincible bank robbers firing automatic weapons outside a bank in North Hollywood, California.
They were able to reload and fire hundreds of rounds repeatedly. But even beyond the weaponry they had was the body armor that they wore from neck to ankle. So they were impervious. They could not be affected by our bullets.
Officer Martin Whitfield was one of the first on the scene, ducking behind his car when the bullets started to fly.
My car's pointing at the bank, so I'm thinking I got my entire police car, bumper-to-bumper protection. This guy's not going to hit me. I felt the rounds hit the car, the vibration of the round hitting the car.
Suddenly he feels a stinging sensation and realizes he's been shot through his car.
And in my mind, I said, don't panic. You've been shot, don't panic. And then I was shot again. At that point, I knew that the rounds that were being fired were penetrating the police car, so a bulletproof vest was nothing.
Whitfield decides to make a run for it, to a line of trees 25 yards away.
I hear the gunfire chasing me. I hear destruction running behind me, and I know I'm running fast. I know I've been shot twice. I'm afraid. It's the most afraid I've ever been in my entire life. Get to the tree and I fall. I fall and I hug it. I kind of fall and kind of catch myself. And I kind of think, wow, I must have tripped over some concrete, roots out the ground or whatever. So I look down. My femur was exploded from an AK-47 round. I thought I'd lost my leg. I just simply thought I'd lost my leg.
As the gunman continues his onslaught, Whitfield desperately holds on to consciousness and knows he's far from safe.
I'm holding on to this tree, and it's moving as if someone was punching it.
He hears the bullets hitting the tree, splintering the wood.
He's shooting me again. Again, you know, I'm not even shooting at this guy, and I'm no threat to this guy. And he's shooting at me.
As Whitfield calls for help, you can hear the pain and fear in his voice.
LA 99, hang in there. 9837 is almost there.
Behind his tree, Whitfield feels himself getting weaker and thinks about his new baby and girlfriend, Kimberly Coleman. She was training to be a police dispatcher.
You know, I laid there when this was all going on, and I'm thinking, oh, Kim has a radio. And I was thinking, please don't let her hear this. Please don't let her hear this.
But Kim is listening. She's home, hearing the drama unfold, and recognizes his voice.
LA 9, I am unable to see behind myself.
And I just sat on the floor and just literally started crying, and I'm saying, God, no. You can't do this to us.
LA 9, I'm losing conscience also.
People don't know what it feels like to hear someone that you love so much. That man is my life. They don't know what it is to hear someone saying that they're dying.
He needs help. Code 3, he is passing out.
But Whitfield's small tree is too exposed, directly in the gunman's line of fire. No police vehicle could withstand the barrage to reach it. By now, much of the nation is transfixed on the live coverage. One gunman has disappeared inside the getaway car. The other is firing wildly, randomly, at one point even turning his gun on the hovering news helicopter.
The suspect is shooting at our helicopter and the other helicopters. We are being shot at this time.
Air unit, get more air. The suspect is retrieving additional weapons from the vehicle and shots are being fired.
Exactly what you're telling me to do.
Police warn residents to get back in their homes. The gunman continuing to aim at any moving target, including already injured civilians.
He'd be back, hitting the car again, landing in the street next to us, and we'd just suck up to that tire a little bit more.
I was watching the rounds just explode off the roof, through windows, going through the cars. And then you can hear on the radio that they actually were starting to move up on us. And you think, there's no place to go.
And how are we going to get the officer out?
Not far away, Officer Stuart Guy is also slowly bleeding to death, his arm and chest pierced by bullet fragments. Even with close to 400 police officers on the scene, the gunmen are putting up a ferocious battle, preventing help from reaching the injured.
you can hear the rounds hitting all around you, and my partner's yelling to me to go get a vehicle, go get a vehicle.
Officer Todd Schmitz and his partner decide to try a daring rescue.
I drove the car into the parking lot that the officers were downed, and we did an officer rescue.
Just hold on, they're bringing the cop in.
They frantically load Officer Guy into the car and race backwards. The door open, his feet hanging out.
And then I backed the car out of the parking lot and drove it to a waiting ambulance.
But still no help for Officer Martin Whitfield, pinned down behind the tree, or for a trio of wounded civilians stranded in the middle of the intersection.
We all wanted to run for it, but I kept saying, no, stay here, let's not move. If they don't see movement, they'll think we're dead.